Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Culture Podcast. It's draft day, one of my favorite weekends of the year, or favorite days, favorite weekends of the year. And this weekend, I'm going to be doing post pick reactions, or post not really post pick, but more like post day reactions. We're still live for day one. We're on pick 27, Baltimore. But I'll react to these live, and then I'll go through this first round, kind of recap some good picks, recap some bad picks. Not saying that I am an expert, but I do know a little bit, just a little bit. So let's get into it. Okay, picks one and two. Everybody knew that picks one and two were gonna be Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson. I like Trevor Lawrence. I like Zach Wilson. So yeah, I mean we're just gonna go through those because they're good quarterbacks. They're gonna make their teams better. I don't see. Actually, I don't want to get into that yet because I am gonna have somebody on this weekend on Sunday. We're doing today through Sunday, every day. I'm gonna have somebody on. We're gonna talk draft, and I can't wait. I can't wait for that. Zach Wilson, like I said, I like that pick also. The third pick was really where the draft started. Everybody knew what the first two were. Trey Lance was the third pick, and I thought that it was a good pick. Me personally, and obviously I'm not running shit, but me personally, I did not think that the 49ers traded that far out to draft Mac Jones. I mean, Mac Jones is a cool little quarterback, but he's not worth 3 first-round picks. Just no. I think Trey Lance is going to be good for the 49ers. He gives them a little bit of a different dynamic than Jimmy Garoppolo. Well, not a little bit. Lot. Not a lot. He gives them a different dynamic than Jimmy Garoppolo. He can run. He's a good runner, not an average runner. He's a good runner. So that'll be interesting to see. I would say probably 2 years from now. Then got Kyle Pitts. He's a unicorn. He's like a tight end wide receiver hybrid, and I don't think he gets as much credit for blocking as he should. He's not like a George Kittle, Gronk, like people mover at tight end, but he's a decent blocker. He'll get the job done. He'll get his assignment done. We got Jamar Chase going to the Bengals, which that was good for me. Coming up later, you'll see why. But he's a dog. He was the best receiver last year, and last year was supposed to be one of the best receiving classes ever. So I like that, and he gets to go with his college teammate. So nothing wrong with that. We got Jalen Waddle. People have been looking for Tyreek Hill for years. Since Tyreek Hill came out, people have been always pegging somebody in each class the next Tyreek Hill, and this is about as close as you're going to get. Now, he's not as twitchy to me. Tyreek Hill has a little bit more shake, at least in my eyes. But as far as speed, like he's probably the closest thing the closest you're gonna get as far as speed. You got Penei Sewell, which a lot of people thought he was going to go to Cincinnati. But obviously they opted to go Jamar Chase. Penei Sewell he's a great offensive tackle. As far as, he's 20 years old, and okay, no, they hadn't picked yet. And he's going to be he's at minimum, he'll be a good offensive tackle at minimum. So that's you can't go wrong. And if he reaches his ceiling, he'll be a Hall of Famer. So you can't go wrong with that. And I don't what that lady's wearing. That's terrible. All right, Baltimore's getting ready to pick. I knew you guys can hear it a little bit. Rashad Bateman. I like that. I like that pick. Get Lamar Jackson, a receiver that can come across the middle, make all the contested catches. I like that pick. And they got they signed Sammy Watkins. They got Marquise Brown. So they got a nice complementary pieces. Sammy Watkins can do some things over the middle. He's more of an outside guy, but no, yeah, Rashad Bateman, I like him. Let's see, where do we leave off? Penei. Okay, so then the first real surprise for me was J.C. Horn to the Carolina Panthers. I thought for sure they were going to go Rashawn Slater because they do need offensive line help. But obviously they didn't. J.C. Horn, he's a good cornerback. He's more of a man than a zone, but obviously he'll be able to play zone. But yeah, I mean he's a really good corner. He's the best man corner in the draft. There's a reason why he went number 8 overall. Like I said, that was a bit of a surprise to me and then most of the draft world. Then another surprise was the Denver Broncos going Patrick Surtain right after him at 9. And the reason why that, like maybe 2 months ago, wouldn't have been a surprise. But, excuse me. But they signed, I think, Ronald Darby. I want to say it was Ronald Darby. They signed Ronald Darby the first week of free agency. And then Kyle Fuller got released, and they signed him. So, everybody thought that they would go away from that. A lot of people thought it was going to be Micah Parsons. And obviously they went corner. So, hell, they're trying to recreate that no-fly zone, that, that type of secondary that won them the Super Bowl. And then we had, was that our first trade? Our first trade of the night. We had, excuse me, we had the Cowboys and the Eagles switch. They flop picks, and excuse me, it's getting annoying. Okay, so we got the Eagles and the Cowboys flopping first, and then I think the Cowboys got a third. It's like 83, 86, something like that, to go down. The Eagles traded up for Devontae Smith, which they needed a receiver, even though they drafted, I want to say 4 receivers last year. None of those receivers are Devontae Smith. Phenomenal route runner. So that's a good pick for them. Then the first quote unquote big trade for me was the Bears coming up from 20 to 11, and everybody knew as soon as the Bears popped up on the clock or popped up on the screen for the trade that it was going to be a quarterback, and it was Justin Fields. I think that was a great pick for them. I'm excited for him because I think that's a good system to go into. Has a few weapons, a coach that he's a good play caller. I don't know. He's kind of has like a smoke and mirrors, a lot of motion, like, all that type of stuff to how do I want to say that? To try to misguide you. So I don't know if it's a he's a good play designer or if it's just the motions that got people out of whack. What 2 years ago when Trubisky had a decent year, but I like to trade up. I like to pick. Now we got to the second half of the Philly Dallas trade. The Cowboys selected Micah Parsons. I like Micah Parsons. Phenomenal athlete, good linebacker. I understand why they did it and also disagree with it at the same time. So you have Jalen Smith, great linebacker. You have Leighton Vander Esch, who's another good linebacker. Now he's hurt all the time, but he is another good linebacker. So now you add another first round draft pick at linebacker. So you have 2 first round draft picks at linebacker and a second round draft pick. And really, Jalen Smith was a first round linebacker anyway, before he got hurt. But it's kind of, I guess I would assume it's kind of an insurance for Leighton Vander Esch since he can't stay on the field. And then my favorite pick of the draft, right here. I was shocked that he fell because there were multiple teams that were gonna pick him. Hold on, pick his in for the Saints. Bro, what? He was supposed to go like late second, early third. That's a Seahawks pick right there. My boy Carlos here. He's a Seahawks fan, and they're terrible about doing it. That's a. I mean, he's a good player, but nobody put him first round. I guarantee if I look on Twitter right now, they're gonna be blowing the shit up. Anyways, okay, so let's get back to the Chargers. Gold Chargers. Rashawn Slater. Can't believe he fell to 13. I thought, when after Penei Sewell got picked, I thought Carolina, Dallas, the Giants before they traded back. I thought all of those were gonna be landing spots. But I'm glad they passed on. We got a franchise left tackle to protect Justin Herbert. Already one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I can't say how happy I am about that. Then we have had another trade. The Jets traded with the Vikings to pick Elijah Vera Tucker. He's kind of tied for like my second favorite pick for us. So they're gonna put him right next to Mekhi Becton, and that left side of the line is gonna be solid for however long they want to keep both of them. A lot of people have said Elijah Vera Tucker really wasn't necessarily an offensive tackle, but as a guard, he was going to be an all-pro. That's the level that they're saying. So, that's a great pick. Add up front to protect Zach Wilson because Sam Darnold was running for his damn life whenever he was there. Mac Jones fell to the Patriots. And I can't stand the Patriots as most people can't. And it feels like shit always falls into their lap. So yeah, Mac Jones to the Patriots. He's gonna be solid. He's pro ready, especially for a system like that. But they did sign Cam. I know it was a 1-year deal, but hell, I don't remember. Carla, do you remember the contract Cam signed? Wasn't
1 year, 15 million.
yeah? I was it was
It's incentive based. I think he's guaranteed.
it guarantees like 6 or 8 or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's 5 million, 2 million signing bonus, 1.5 base salary, and 1.5 total per game roster bonus. Okay, and the rest is $9 million for playoffs, Pro Bowl, All Pro, MVP, and Super Bowl MVP. So it's nothing.
So he's gonna get about 6, 7, probably.
Yeah, still seven.
Okay, you heard now. He's gonna get 7 million. All right, so that was Mac Jones. So that's an interesting. The base 5 million. Okay. Eric Stokes. Okay. He's supposed to, and they thought he might creep into the first round. The Green Bay Packers picked up Eric Stokes, cornerback from Georgia. I want to say he ran like a 4.29, something like that. So shit. I mean, I don't hate it, but I know they were rumored to love Rashad Bateman. He went to Baltimore at 27. So shit, I mean, can't do shit about it. Okay, let's go. Xavier Collins to the Arizona Cardinals. Big linebacker, versatile. I mean, he can play inside. He can play. So Carlo, he can't stand when people say this, but he can play inside. He can play outside. Like he can play like Mike. He can play Sam. In a 4-3 and 3-4, he can play inside backer, or he can be a stand-up rusher. Smooth. I think he's like 6'5", 260. Ran like a 4.6. So something like that. Yeah. So I mean that was a good pick. Having him and Isaiah Simmons, like that's also the ultimate chess pieces. Yeah, I mean those are two ridiculous athletes, and I can't wait to see how they use them. The first pick of the first round, I completely like, bro, what? The Raiders, and they've made a few of these over the last few years. They picked Alex Leatherwood, which most people had him rated bottom of the second, top of the third. So, I mean, hey, I don't. He's either gonna play right tackle or guard, but they needed to revamp that whole offensive line anyway. So, hell, it is what it is. We'll see if he if he can help them out. But yeah, I thought that was the most shocking pick of the round. Yeah, that was the most shocking pick of the round so far. Besides the Saints, just picking about in the same area, I would excuse me. I would say they were probably ranked. Next one, Jalen Phillips went to Miami at 18. A lot of people had him as the best pass rusher in the class. And I mean, hell, take talent when it falls to you, and that's what they did. They play a multiple front defense. Switch between 3-4, 4-3, and he could play outside. He could play outside 3-4, and obviously D in a 4-3. So I think that's a good pick. A lot of people say he's the best pass rusher. Because there's other edge players that aren't great pass rushers. A lot of people say he's the best pass rusher in the draft. So that was a good pick. Jamin Davis to Washington football team at 19. He's one of those one year wonders for the most part. But like athletic freak. I don't remember how tall he is, but I want to say like 6'2", 6'3", 240. Ran like a 4.5 something. Sideline to sideline linebacker. And that defensive front is ridiculous, and just adding a speed backer into it makes it even better. And we got Kadarius Toney to the New York Giants. They traded back from 11 to 20. Excuse me, and took Kadarius Toney. He's just he's a playmaker. Get the ball in his hands. They are loading up the offense for Daniel Jones. This is gonna be Daniel Jones last year. If he's bad this year, then his ass is out. So hell, they brought in Kenny Galladay. They got Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, Saquon. You add Kadarius Toney, you have 5 playmakers. You got to do something with it as a quarterback. If you got 5 playmakers. Moving on to the next one, we got Kwity Paye going to the Indianapolis Colts. Another athletic freak. Oh, okay. The Bills pick is in. We're just waiting on Roger Goodell. Kwity Paye out of Michigan, DN. He's an athletic freak, but he needs some work on his pass rush moves. Like he has all the juice in the world, strong as hell, quick as hell. He just doesn't have the hands yet. Which hell, when you're that athletic in college, sometimes you don't need hands. You don't need the hand fighting and stuff like that. You get to league, you're gonna need it. But I like the pick because they need pass rush. The Titans, Caleb Farley. I was a little surprised. I thought they were gonna go. Bills pick is in. Greg Rousseau. Okay. Bills fans don't seem too happy about it, but I like it. Decent pick. He's one of those. He's a question mark. He had a really good year 2 years ago, 2019. Sat out last year, and then kind of underwhelmed in his testing and whatnot. But hell, if he's one of the, he was going to be like a top 10 pick based off of 2019. He's going to be a top 10 pick, and then he sat out, and then all the testing and whatnot. So, we'll see. This could be a steal for him because he fell to 30. But he has to gain weight and get stronger because of the limits he has athletically. But he's a good player. Okay, Caleb Farley. So I'd say he was going to be a top 10 pick before he had to have another back surgery. Excuse me, tickling my throat. But he fell to 22, and the Titans actually did this a few years ago with Jeffrey Simmons. He was like climbing up draft boards. Jeffrey Simmons was. He was climbing up draft boards, and they were talking about he was going to be a top 10 pick. And I think he tore his ACL or his Achilles in a workout. And so I think they decided they were going to take a swing on somebody like that again. He was arguably the best corner in the draft. And yeah, hell, sometimes you got to take swings like that. And going on to the Vikings, they traded back from 14, 15. What was it? They traded back from 14 to 23. And so I was talking to Carlo whenever they were at 14. I said they were either going to pick Vera Tucker or Darsaw. And hell, they traded back 9 spots. They traded back 9 spots and still got the player that they probably were going to pick anyway. I wouldn't have mind if the Chargers would have picked Chris Darrisaw. Darrisaw. I don't know how it's pronounced. I wouldn't mind if they picked him either. Solid left tackle. He needs to work on a few things. So they didn't run a pro offense at Virginia Tech, but a solid left tackle. I think he'll do them well. We had 2 running backs go back to back, which I was a little surprised. Not for the first one, but for the second one. So Najee Harris went to the Pittsburgh Steelers, which I thought that's the direction that they were going to go in. I like that. They replaced James Conner. I feel like he's more talented than James Conner. They're kind of the same type of back. He just has a little bit more juice to me at least. And then my favorite running back of the draft, Travis Etienne, fast, extremely explosive, and he gets to go with his college quarterback. He gets to go Trevor Lawrence to Jacksonville. I like it, but I don't. At the same time, but hell, just you got to surround your quarterback with weapons. Excuse me, that tickles something else. Okay, so the Cleveland Browns at 26. They went Greg Newsome, which is, most of the draft people that I read and pay attention to, I do have a good little 5 to 10 of them that I really pay attention to. They all thought that Greg Newsome was going to be the, let me see, the third corner, fourth corner, fourth corner. So 1, 2, 1, 3, 4. So most people said he was going to be the fourth corner off the board. And he was going to go somewhere in the 20s, and they were right. Went to Cleveland. So now they have Denzel Ward, Greedy Williams. Hasn't really lived up to what people thought he was going to, what he was going to be thus far, however you say that. But so they get another one. Hell, we'll see. He should be good, but we don't know. And then we got Baltimore at 27. They drafted Rashad Bateman. I've gone over that one already. So we've caught back up, and Baltimore's second pick is in. And we're just waiting on this commercial. Let me see. Is there anything else I want to go over while we're waiting on this one? I thought I timed this all right, but obviously I didn't. I started at like 26. Okay, my favorite picks of the let's do that. My favorite picks of the first round. I love the Trey Lance pick. Like I said, I did not want Mac Jones to be you trade 3 first-round picks to pick Mac Jones when, hell, if they would have stayed at 12, he would have been there more than likely. I don't feel like, I was saying to Carlo, I didn't feel like Mac Jones to me isn't head and shoulders above Jimmy Garoppolo. If you're ranking like a 1 through 10, if Jimmy Garoppolo's a 6, then Mac Jones might be a 6.5. And like if you feeling real froggy, you might give him a 7. So I didn't understand why people thought he was going to be the pick. I love the Trey Lance pick. The Kyle Pitts pick. I mean, being a former tight end, I love tight ends going high, and I mean he's he's nasty. I mean, if you haven't watched his highlights, go watch his highlights because his highlights are sick. Corners can't cover him. Linebackers and safeties damn sure aren't going to cover him. So yeah, that was another good pick. Devontae Smith. I talked about it a little bit already. I don't want to, as a rookie, put him as an elite route runner, but he's. We'll see. He's one of those. He can be like kind of like a Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson 1 year in the league. He's an elite route runner. People thought he was an elite route runner coming in, and he proved them right. So I'm assuming Devontae Smith to prove people right. Now we'll see if he's getting hemmed up at the line of scrimmage, because if he's doing that, then the route running doesn't do anything for you. The Ravens pick is in. Jason away. So at 31, the Ravens pick Jason away. Bless you. That's a good pick for them. They get one on each side of the ball. Dude is a freak. He's like 6'5". Did they already put his height weight up? No. Here it is right here. 6'5", 252. He ran like a 4.36 40. I mean, tested ridiculous. Now he has 0 sacks this past year. But he's just a disruptive presence. And obviously, like, if you have that type of burst, then you better be a disruptive presence. And he's gonna play that 3-4 outside backer. They're gonna create some looks for him. They blitz a lot in Baltimore, so they'll create probably 4 or 5 sacks for him just based on scheme. And we'll see if he can do anything more than that. Okay, a few more favorite picks. Justin Fields. I said that's one of my. I love that pick. I love that they traded up for him. I didn't think he was going to fall that far, but I do love that they traded up for him. Rayshon Slater talked about that. Franchise left tackle. At absolute worst. This is another thing I was telling Carlo. I might have said this already. At absolute worst, these two picks, Rayshon Slater and Elijah Vera Tucker, if you want to play them at tackle, like I thought they would be at least good tackles. They may not be like Hall of Fame worthy or All Pro worthy, like what's his name? Penei Sewell has the potential of being, but at worst they were going to be good. Now you kick him inside the guard. Every single draft person that I read at guard, they think they're going to be elite. That they're going to be like all pro level guards. Last pick of the first round. Excuse me. The Bucks. Let's see what they do. Joe Tryon. Okay, I like it. Who the hell? Yeah. Shut up. You just like him because he's from Washington. No, yeah, he's good. But yeah, so they get a rotational pass rusher. He's not gonna start, but he's a good edge rusher. Athletic. But yeah, so you got Shaqberry there. Just signed him to a deal. I'm not assuming, this is going to be Jason Pierre-Paul's replacement. But yeah, no, this dude is good. Yeah, he get to learn behind those two. That's a solid pick. Defense gets better. I mean, they brought back every person that started last year. and then added a great developmental. I mean, and like he could, hell, really, he could take JPP's spot if they felt that highly of, like if they feel that highly of him, he could take his spot. But if not, he give you 8 sacks as a rotational pass rusher because he is a good pass rusher. Okay, so let's go back to favorite picks. Yeah, my next one, I already like went over this twice. Jason Bateman. I said Jason Bateman, Rashad Bateman. Of like the 20s, that's probably my favorite one. Hell, and then Jason Oweh. So both of the Baltimore picks I thought were like spot on, really good. Yeah, so that is it for round number 1. Excuse me. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed the round 1. I enjoy it every year. There's some ups and downs always, but I mean it was fun. I can't wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow's a little longer of a day, but I'll still catch the end of the 3rd round, and we'll react to some of the stuff. Have more picks to talk about, and then I can't wait to talk to my boy that's coming in, and we can talk about the draft as a whole. But yeah, thank you guys for listening or watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Well, this will be up on Friday. I will see you guys on Saturday. All right, see you later.